Hi students, welcome to the session on Fourier Transform of the signal. Alright, we all know that Fourier Transform converts time domain signal into frequency domain signal. The formula to find the Fourier Transform is x of omega is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e power minus j omega t dt. Right, if you have one block box which is called Fourier Transform, if you give x of t as input, what you get is x of omega. So this is what our input time domain signal. It's a function of t, so it is time domain signal. After taking Fourier transform, what you get is frequency domain. It is a function of omega. X is a function of omega, so it is called a frequency domain. So x of omega is nothing but Fourier transform of x of t. This we know. The question is how this equation gives omega. After doing this manipulation, right, so how t is becoming omega, that is the question arises, right? For example, if you take x of t minus e power j omega t dt, how it will give x of omega, right? That we normally ignore. We simply say x of t will give x of omega, but how it happens, let us see this now. Right, let us take one vector. We start with vector, then only we'll understand the concept. Let us consider a vector A. A is given by ai vector. For example, okay, ax x cap plus ay y cap plus az z cap. Let me write any vector like this. Ax, ay and az are component of the vector along x, y, and z direction respectively. I want to find the component of vector A along x direction. What I will do, I will take a dot product of A with x. It will give Ax only. Similarly, I want to find the component of this vector A along y direction. What I do, I take a dot product with y cap. So what it will give? It will give Ay only. Other thing will be 0 because x dot y dot x is 0, y dot z also 0. Similarly, if I want component along x z direction, I take dot product with z cap. It will give Az. So what you have to do, if you want, A is a total vector. If you want to find the part of that, you have to take a dot product with its unit vector. Yes or no? This is vector. You have to take a dot product with unit vector along the same direction. So it will give the component of the vector on that direction. Similarly, this dot product has another name is inner product we know. This is our vector. For function, the inner product is given by, for inner product of x of t, y of t is given by, this inner product symbol we know, minus infinity to plus infinity, x of t, y of t dt. Fine, this is the inner product between two functions. But what is the thing, if I want to find the component of any vector, I have to take an inner product with unit vector. For vector, unit vector is x cap, y cap, z cap. For function, what is the unit vector or unit function? That's what complex exponential comes to play. What is that? E power minus j omega t. What is the magnitude? Magnitude of e power minus j omega t is always 1. Right? So that's why we choose complex exponential as the function. Now, what is the meaning of the equation minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e power minus j omega t dt? This indicates it is a inner product between a full vector like a vector A and what you call this fellow complex exponential or unit vector. Fine. So what will happen if it is similarly in vector, if it is x cap, it will give the component along the x direction. Y cap means it will give the component along the y direction. So with respect to the value of omega, it will give the value of the frequency at the particular value, for a particular signal. Why? We know that every signal is composed of harmonics, right? So if you assign some value if you assign some value to omega, that frequency it will check. Only that frequency will be having a value, other value will become zero. Like if you take A into x cap, what will happen? Y component will be 0, Z component will be 0, only X component only we will get. Like that, you take t varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. For example, let us assume omega is equal to 5. What will happen? If you take a dot product between these two, all the multiplication will become 0 except omega is equal to 5. Because at this frequency only it will make match, like our A dot x cap. Even though A has x cap, x direction, y direction and z direction like ax, ay, az, but it will give the only value, only this multiplication exists, others are 0, no? Like that, only if phi is present, that value only will be available. That's what this frequency. If that phi is not present, the total function will become 0. In this way, a time domain signal is converted into frequency domain signal. Similarly, if our signal comprising of a 50 Hz signal, you substitute omega is equal to minus infinity to dt, t varies from minus infinity to plus infinity, it will take a dot product between x of t and e power minus j omega t. Only when omega is equal to 50, the answer will be available. For all other values of omega, the function will become 0. Right? So in this way, what happens? A time domain signal is converted into frequency domain signal by using Fourier transform. So like any number can be represented by 1. Any vector can be represented by unit vector, right? Any signal can be represented by complex exponential. What is the commonality among all the things? The magnitude of all the values are 1, 1, 1, 1. Mod x cap 1. 1 is 1. Magnitude of 1 is 1. Mod x cap unit vector. That's why it is called unit vector. Magnitude is 1. Mod e power j omega t. Complex exponential. Whether it is plus or minus, the magnitude of complex exponential is always 1. So this is very important point, right? So I hope you understand this, how Fourier transform is only giving frequency current of the signal. If you have any doubt, please ask me in comment section. Thank you.